My name is Jared Rost, and I'm with Power for Life School Assemblies. Power for Life is a school assembly program that travels all across America and even overseas. As of 3 years ago, we became the #1 school assembly in the nation of anti-drug, anti-alcohol, anti-bullying, telling kids to hang on to their goals and dreams and that they're created for a purpose and a reason to be something great on this planet. I've been doing it now for about 23 and a half years, and it's just a passion in my life to speak into teenagers' lives throughout America and let them know that they have a purpose and a reason to say yes to the right things and no to the wrong things, and that they have dreams, big dreams, to become something great on this planet, and for them to fulfill those dreams and their dreams and to become something amazing, because we need these children to know and these teenagers to know that they have purpose and that they have life and that they're loved and that they can become something great. I did not come alone. I brought two of the team members here with me today, and I want to introduce this first guy. He stands in at 6'2", weighs in at 285 pounds. He can bench press over 500 pounds. He served in our United States military. Give it up for Big Blake Stocks. I need to open it. Now this next guy, I want to introduce him. Standing in at 5'10", weighing in at 240 pounds of rock solid muscle. The wide receiver for Texas State. Let's give it up for Big Corey Broadnex. We do the elementary schools, we do the middle schools, we do the high schools. But you know, middle schools are pretty vital and important because middle school students are at that age where they're being molded and made, and we want to lay that foundation in the middle school age, because from there, you know, man, stuff changes in high school. And man, the peer pressure really starts digging in high school for them. I mean, drugs and alcohol, and just a different peer pressure in high school in all. And so if we lay a foundation that they are worth more, especially young ladies, they are worth more than a backseat of a car, or they are worth more than a beer or a glass of alcohol or a drug, that they have purpose, and that, they are a sweetheart and they're somebody's princess, and that, men have dreams. These young men have dreams, and not to give up on their dreams because of alcohol and because of drugs. And that's why this team has come together to speak and lay this foundation into people's lives. We came here today because we believe in every single one of you. We believe that every single one of you have giftings, talents, and abilities to be something great on this planet. That every single one of you have dreams to become something great in your life. See, every single one of you have dreams, and big dreams. You could go into the schools right now. They don't have a class that is about dreams. But I want to talk to you about dreams real quick in my class. If I had the time to go to every single one of you right now, I would hear about great dreams. I'd hear about great things. I'd hear about people who want to be teachers, who want to be astronauts, who want to be scientists, who want to be singers, who want to be professional athletes. I would hear all about these great, amazing dreams that you have. But I want you to know something about your dream. Shh. There's something you need to understand about whatever you're dreaming about that you want to be when you grow up. Whatever that dream is, it exists. It is real. You just have to hang on to that dream and say yes to the right things and say no to the wrong things. And you can truly become whatever it is that you are thinking about or dreaming about that you want to be when you grow up. I want to ask you guys a question real quick, without any words, just a raise of a hand. How many of you have ever had a bad day? I'm talking a bad day. Hey, put your hands down. I want to tell you about a bad day that I had. It was a horrible day. I was raised in Arizona, born and raised in Arizona. And I remember, Blake, Corey, going through elementary school, and I had my best friends. My buddies that lived in my neighborhood, we would ride our bikes to school every day. After school, they'd come to my house. I'd go to their house. When we were in school, we hung out in the hallways. We sat at the lunch table together. My buddies, my best friends, my pals, they were great. I remember we went all through elementary school. We played football together in Pee-wee football, and then we went into middle school together. We joined the middle school football team. It was great. Life didn't get much better than this for me. I had the greatest friends in the world. I was playing the greatest sport I thought there was. I was dating the most beautiful girl. And life didn't get much better than this. And then it happened. We moved to a whole nother city. I moved away from everybody I knew. Every single person. I went from becoming one of the most popular kids in school to having the good-looking girlfriend to going to a whole nother school. Listen up. And I became that kid that walked the hallway by himself. Didn't know anybody. I became that kid who sat at the lunch table by himself. But you know something? There was one thing I was good at. I was good at playing football. I was short, I was strong, I was fast. I had to be, because big guys like that want to come tackle you. So I joined this football team, and they needed us. They needed me. They were horrible. They haven't won a game in like 4 years. They were horrible. And so you know something? I joined this football team, and I started practicing with this team and getting to know a couple people and everything. But I remember walking down the hallway in the school. I had my book bag on. I was walking down the hallway, and somebody said my name. They said, "Yo, Jared." And I turned around. You want to know who's called my name? The quarterback of the football team. This is the guy that is the most popular kid in the whole school. This is the guy that all the guys want to hang out with. This is the guy that all the girls like. And I remember saying, man, this guy is calling my name right now. And he came up to me and he said, Jared, I'm glad you came to our school. Man, we needed you on a football team. And I said, you really did? Zach, what he said, he goes, man, tonight after the football game, I'm having a party at my house. My parents are out of town. I want to invite you. How many of you know, at age 14, I've never been invited to a house party in my life. Man, I've never even thought about it. No way. But how many of you know, I needed this at this time. At this moment, I so needed this. And guess what? I was so excited. I played the football game that night. Man, I made 2 touchdowns to win the game. Man, we went crazy. The crowd went crazy. But you know what was on my mind? Party. I was so excited. So man, I went into the locker room. I took off my pads as fast as I could. I went out into the bike rack. I got on my bike. I went home. I changed my clothes. I was so excited about this party that it only took me 5 minutes to get from my house to the party. And I want to give you a picture of when I went to this party. I rode my bike so fast to this party. I pulled up to the front of the house. I parked my bike in the driveway. I went up to the front door. I could hear the music just going on inside. It was happening, man. And I remember encouraging myself at the front door. I'm like, come on, you got this, Jared. They invited you. Man, you just won the football game for them. Come on, you got this. So I knocked on the door. The door opened up. I walked in, and guess what? It was better than I thought it was going to be. Everybody who is somebody is in this house at this party. People are coming up giving me high fives. Jared, you made the touchdowns. You won the game, man. This and that. It was awesome, guys. There were chicks everywhere. And you know what I mean? That means you change your walk. What's up? It was happening. And then it happened. The very guy who invited me to his party, I'm in his home at his party, walked right up to me. And he came up to me and he gave me a high five. Said, Jared, man, I'm glad you made it to our house. We're celebrating. You made the touchdowns. I said, great. And then he extended his hand to me. And in his hand was this thing called a beer that had alcohol in it. Right then, at that moment, I remember instantly all the commercials that are out there that are just do not drink alcohol. I remember the campaign that went throughout the schools, just say no. I remember my parents, don't ever drink alcohol. I remember all this stuff, pastors, preachers, teachers, just say no to alcohol, it'll kill you. But then there it was. And you know something? I was thirsty. So I gave in to the peer pressure and I grabbed this thing called a beer that has alcohol in it. And I grabbed it and I opened up the beer and it even sounded cool. It went psh. And I looked around and everybody's drinking this thing that is called a beer that has alcohol in it. And you know something? I put it to my mouth and I started drinking away. I started drinking this thing up. And then I put it down and I went, ah! And I remember right then, I figured something out. Beer does not taste like Kool-Aid. It has no similarities. But for some reason, when I sat down, I drank that beer, they give you another one. When I drank that beer, they give you another one. When I drank that one, guess what they do? They give you another one. And then the guy stands up and says, party's over. Get out of my house. And I stood up. Whoa. They say beer has an acquired taste. It also has an acquired walk, okay? I figured out that I was drunk. And I remember I stood up. I couldn't see straight. I couldn't walk straight. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't even talk straight. So I finally made it to the front door. I finally made it to my bike. I sat on Night Rider and I said, take me home, baby. Take me home. Hey, guess what? It took me 5 minutes to get from my house to the party. It took me 45 minutes to get home. I hit every tree on the way home, every bush. I had cars honking at me. I was just following the little dotted lines in the middle of the street. I finally made it home. I parked my bike in the neighbor's yard. I still don't know why today. I snuck in my house. I finally made it upstairs. And you want to know something? I laid down in my bed. And I said, oh, I've made it. I've made it. And then it got worse. I'm sitting there in my bed, and then the ceiling started spinning. And then it even got worse than that. The ceiling was spinning this way, but my ceiling fan was going this way. I finally fell asleep. And then I heard a noise in my room. Something truly, for real, made a noise. I heard this, and it woke me up. And I opened my eyes, literally, whoa, what's going on? What was that? And then it made a noise again. It went, I said, whoa, what in the world is that? And then it made a noise again. It was my chicken McNuggets getting their revenge. Hey, I was taking control of it. It went, I said, calm down. I said, chill out. It went from my stomach to my throat in less than a second. I ran down the hallway. I opened up the door to the bathroom. And man, I slid into the toilet. And I put your face where your face don't belong, if you know what I mean. And you know something? I just rubbed my face on the toilet bowl seat. It was all cold and moist, and I was hot and sweaty. You want to know something? That became one of the worst nights of my life because I threw up all night. I was actually sick all week because I drank this thing called a beer that has alcohol in it. And you know something? I want to talk about this real quick. That story is absolutely true. I killed like 14 trees. I destroyed a Night Rider, my bike. And I was sick all week because of this drink that doesn't even taste good, by the way. Because it's just a peer pressure to do something exciting because you're breaking the law because you're not old enough to drink. And I'm being real with you. I made a decision in my life. I made a vow to myself. I remember looking at myself in the mirror. And do you know that it is okay to make a vow to yourself? Do you know who the number one person? It is a proven statistic. You know who the number one person is that talks to you? Is yourself. Not somebody else. It is 100% yourself. So don't think you're weird. Don't think you're crazy. It is okay to encourage yourself to even do the right things. It is okay to look at yourself in the mirror and make a vow to better yourself. I want them to make the right choices in life. When you make the right choices in life, the right things will happen in your life. And not only that, but who you also surround yourself with is very important as well. And you know, if you're surrounding yourself with people who drink, you're probably going to end up drinking. If you surround yourself with people who do drugs, you're probably going to end up doing drugs. So it's very important in life, who you surround yourself with is very important. And that pretty much, even today, I hope if I got to one, you know, I told about my 4 friends who lost their lives in a drunk driving accident. They hit a pole going over 100 miles an hour. But the thing for me is that they just dropped me off 30 minutes before they went out and lost their lives. They were drinking alcohol that night. I even know who was driving the vehicle that night. And they're all dead. They all died at age 17 years old in a car accident. They were my best friends. And if this story touched one of these students to not drink, to not put drug in his body, and if I was able to save one life and get to one of these 650 students here today, then our job is done. I made a vow to myself that I wouldn't drink again. I went on through high school, became the all-state running back 2 years in a row. My senior year in high school, I had all my buddies, my pals. Man, we just won a football game. We went to another house party. Now listen to me. You can go to a party, and I'm not telling you go to a party, but I'm just saying you can go to a party and not put a drug in your system and not put alcohol in your mouth, and guess what? You can still be in the in crowd. I'm living proof. Nobody out of the whole school would ask me to drink again. They never had to because they know the answer. But I was still invited everywhere. And you know something? I'd go to this house, but my buddies were drinking. They were having fun. They were doing some things that weren't supposed to be doing. But the night was over. And I remember telling my buddies, hey guys, drop me off at the home. I'm tired. So they dropped me off at the house. They spun out of the neighborhood. 30 minutes later, I received a phone call. I picked up the phone. And I said, hello, and the man on the other line said, is there Jared Ross there? I said, this is him. He said, my name is Mike Hayes. I'm the chief of police here in Mesa, Arizona. I said, how can I help you? Right then, my father picked up another phone in the house, and he was listening in. He said, there's been an accident. We need your help. My father spoke up, and he said, son, I need you to hang up the phone and get dressed. I said, yes, sir. I got up the phone. I got dressed. Next thing I know is my father walks into the room, and he looks right at me. And he goes, son, no matter what happens tonight, no matter what you see, I'll be right here for you. I said, Dad, what's going on, man? And he put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, son, no matter what happens tonight, I'll be right here. We hopped in the car. We went 3 miles down the road. I turned the corner. Guess what? I didn't see one fire truck. There was 11 of them. There was ambulances. There was police cars. The road was blocked off. I said, Dad, I don't even know what's going on here. I didn't even know where we were going, by the way. I said, we need to find a way around this. He just said, hold on, son. We pulled up in front of a fire truck. We got out of the car. A man walks up to us. He said, are you Jared Ross? I said, yes, sir, I am. He said, my name's Mike Hayes. I'm the one who called you on the phone. I'm the chief of police here in Mesa, Arizona. I said, okay, what's going on? And he said, I need your help. I'm like, okay. He grabbed my arm. Literally, he just grabbed my arm. And we walked around this fire truck. And as we walked around this fire truck, understand something. At age 17 years old, pound for pound, I was the strongest kid in my school. I was the all-state running back. I was a pretty tough kid. But what my eyes laid hold of at that moment, my legs started shaking and they gave out and I almost fell to the ground, but my father grabbed me. Because the very thing that I was looking at was the car that I was in 30 minutes ago with my best friends hit a pole going over 100 miles an hour and split into two. Total destruction. And I remember crying out to my dad. I said, Dad, where's my friends? Where's my pals? Where's my buddies? Where's Brad? Where's Carl? Where's Dan? Where's Eric? Where are they at, Dad? We know the answer. I remember getting up off the ground about 20 minutes later. The chief of police looks at me and he goes, man, I know this is hard for you. I need your help. I'm like, what can I do here? And he goes, I need you to identify their bodies so when their parents come, we can take their parents to their right sons. That night, I had the privilege from going to body to body to body to body, picking up those white sheets that aren't so white anymore. And I got to identify my best friend's lifeless, dead bodies. Because that one night that we went to that house party, that one night that changed everything, I went to that dumb little house party that had alcohol there. I didn't put a drink to my mouth. I didn't smoke anything. I didn't put a drug in my body. But my best friends did. The reason why you're able to hear about Brad, Carl, Dan, and Eric is because the one guy who didn't drink, the one guy who didn't smoke, the one guy who didn't do a drug that night is the only one who made it home. I'm not just the only one who made it home. I'm the only one who lived. I'm not just the only one who lived. I'm the only one who survived. Why? because they died a horrible, brutal death. They say it's the single worst car accident involving teenagers and alcohol in Mesa, Arizona's history. A lot of people ask, is this what you do for a living? It is. This is what we do. Now, Corey has his own company, but this is still his passion. He comes out 2 to 3 weeks out of the month to come do what we do. And this is just a passion we have, and we truly believe in this generation of young people, and this generation of, this is our next generation as well, of leaders, of teachers, of scientists, of business owners, of astronauts. Our movie stars, people are going to go into, the military and political stuff. These are our next leaders, and we need them. I told them about my family at home, my son and my daughter. I need these students to hang on to their dreams, to become those doctors for my children, to become those attorneys for my children, to become those professional athletes for my children to look up to and watch. So it's very important that, they say yes to the right things and they say no to the wrong things, and that their dreams really exist and they're out there and they can hang on to them and not let them go, and they can become whatever they want. When Corey was in elementary school, he couldn't speak straight. He had a stuttering problem. He couldn't read. He came from a broken home. His mother was white and his father was black. He got into middle school, your age. Guess what? He couldn't talk straight. He had ADD. You had a speech impediment. You had dyslexia. And guess what? He still couldn't read. Nobody taught him to read. He went into high school. He was just an athlete. He had dyslexia, ADHD. You're on medication. He still couldn't read, but one single person saw something different in Corey. And it was his coach. And he said, you come before school, I'll teach you how to read. And you stay after school, and I'll teach you how to read. Corey went to school before school so he could learn how to read. He stayed after football practice, and the coach sat there and taught him how to read. His senior year in high school, he got a full ride scholarship to Texas State. But Corey, let me ask you a question. From the day you were born to this moment in time, right now, right here, how much alcohol have you ever tried in your life?
None.
From the day you were born to this moment in time, right here, right now, how much drugs have you ever experimented, tried, ever in your life?
None.
He is 100% proof. You don't need any of that. And be who you are. You are created different than everybody else. You are created special. And you have dreams to become something great. You say yes to the right things and you say no to those wrong things. You can truly become whatever it is that you want to be when you grow up. Corey, let's snap that bat in half. Come on, everybody, let's get behind him right now. Come on. I can't hear you. Come on, Corey. You can call Power for Life. My name is Jared Rost. I'm actually the president of it. And you can go online, powerforlife.net. It has all our information.com. We own it all. And you can go on there and say hello to us. We'd love to hear from you.